Holy crap. Okay, here's another one. This one's also very important. This is from the Bureau of Industry and Security. It's 15 CFR parts 734, 736, 740, 742, 744, 762, 772, and 774. I will link this in the description below if you'd like to read it in full. I'm going to be going over just the basics and the summary of this so you can get a basic understanding of what's happening in this document. So basically, what we have here, and this again is a document sitting on the public inspection on the Federal Register. If you, I'll link this below too, so you'll have the link to it. But this is what it looks like. Federal Register. This is where all of your daily rules come out, and if it's in red like this, it means that it's on public inspection, meaning you are allowed to go in and read it and comment, give your opinion, give your thoughts. SEC will look at and may take it into account. Depending on how versed you are in the subject matter. They're not just going to read. Obviously, if you go in there and you're like, hey, I don't like it, take it away. They're not going to do anything. But you still have a voice, so just don't forget that. Okay, so again, this is what we're looking at here, and this is interesting, folks. Again, this is the implementation of additional export controls. Certain advanced computing and semiconductor manufacturing items, supercomputer and semiconductor end use, entity list modification. And again, this is from the Bureau of Industry and Security, Department of Commerce, interim final rule with a request for comments. In this rule, the Bureau of Industry and Security, or BIS, is amending the Export Administration Regulations, or EAR, to implement necessary controls on advanced computing integrated circuits, or ICs, computer commodities that contain such ICs, and certain semiconductor manufacturing items. In addition, BIS is expanding controls on transactions involving items for supercomputer and semiconductor manufacturing end uses. For example, this rule expands the scope of foreign produced items subject to license requirements for 28 existing entities on the entity list that are located in China. BIS is also informing the public that specific activities of U.S. persons that support the development or production of certain ICs in China, or the PRC, require a license. So hold on. So last year, specifically around this time, I remember everyone thought China was going to cause the world to explode, go into burning collapse, but here's further evidence, what I've been saying for a year now. China and the U.S. are working together. And look right here. Lastly, to minimize short-term impact on the semiconductor supply chain from this rule, BIS is establishing a temporary general license to permit specific limited manufacturing activities in China related to items destined for use outside China, and is identifying a model certificate that may be used in compliance programs to assist, along with other measures, in conducting due diligence. So you're going to have to give me some time on this one because I'm going to have to go into all of these dates here and go into the referenced rules here and figure out what they're talking about. But here's more evidence that not only is the supply chain engineered, but they're working very closely with China because they literally are just now allowing this interim rule that specifically regarding supercomputers and the commodities that each of those are used with, and the certain semiconductor manufacturing items, and they're allowing it to be in China. Who would have thought? Now, what I want you to think about is the Taiwan situation. You know that's where the main hub is for the semiconductors. Then think of the media narrative, and then think of this document, and then think of Blue's Clues. You're sitting in the thinking chair. You got your three clues are COVID, it's one, semiconductors is two, and then you have the underlying documentation showing the collaboration between China and the United States as three. Put them all together, what do you get? Probably like a yin-yang or something. I don't know. But this document's rather lengthy. It's 139 pages long. I'm going to read this in greater detail, but I wanted to just get the gist of the summary out that semiconductor related. And a year ago, they were saying if you do anything to support the PRC, you're going to jail and you're a traitor. But now they're like, you got to have a license. So just hang in there, folks. It's coming to a theater near you. I will link this below. So to reiterate, BIS is expanding controls on transactions involving items from supercomputers and semiconductor manufacturing and uses, allowing it to be manufactured in China, to be made for outside of China, and they're allowing the U.S. persons to now support the development or production of certain ICs in the PRC, if you have a license. When just last year, they were saying you'd be basically a criminal. So anyways, interesting shit. I love this stuff, man. I love it. Let's keep moving.